Business is built on experience, on learning what works, understanding what doesn't, and passing that knowledge on. It's also built on connections between people, ideas, and opportunity. For Young Enterprise Gibraltar, those connections are vital. The program thrives thanks to the ongoing support of the local business community professionals who give their time, share their wisdom, and help guide young people as they take their first steps into the world of enterprise. That support makes a real difference, and it's something the Young Enterprise team deeply value.
I have no words to express my gratitude for the business community in Gibraltar. They are ever so supportive of young people and what they are trying to achieve. I reach out through the Gibraltar Federation of Small Businesses, maybe through big companies that provide business advisors already. We get so much support. They so want to help students. That's really wonderful. Like, enterprise spirit in Gibraltar is strong. Yeah.
The business community is phenomenal in Gibraltar. I think the participants can't do this without a very, very, very important group of volunteers. The business advisors are critical. By way of the financial support, we have a number of sponsors which have been sponsoring us, some of them from a long, long time ago and super committed to us. And without them, this would be impossible to do. They actually volunteer senior managers and middle managers to actually become the business advisors to the company program. But importantly, they come back every year. At the beginning, when we started, we had to recruit and convince people to become business advisors. It is now those business advisors that tend to come back and tell their friends. It is when we see the final that we have approaches from people in the business community saying, I would like to help and support. And that is key. So Young Enterprise would not exist if it wasn't for the volunteer network. And that is the backbone of what we do. Of course, the beating heart is the student, is a young entrepreneur. But without that framework, Young Enterprise would not exist.
Hi, I'm Ed. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at PwC in Gibraltar. So I've been involved with Young Enterprise for approximately 10 years now, working as a business advisor. So every year I get assigned to one of the Young Enterprise teams, and I'm there to give experience, professional business experience, give them guidance. I avoid being too hands-on. I'm really there to help them develop their own ideas and really help them really push their own concepts and really own their own successes.
Well, I'm Johnny Cooper. I find myself in Gibraltar. I arrived here in August 2024 after a lifetime so far in the dark and dismal and rainy UK. So it seems like a life upgrade being here, and I'm really, really pleased and proud and honoured to be part of this Young Enterprise project. I was asked to mentor one of the teams. I've had a career in sales and marketing, followed by a short, unsuccessful career in music. So I play piano, but not so as enough people would pay me to make a living. So I decided to get into sales and marketing, and I built quite a big business in the UK in financial services. We grew to 10.2 million turnover with 200 staff and 8 offices. Sold that and just became a kind of freelance consultant, helping out other businesses, sitting on the board of various organisations and companies, helping them to make money. And more recently now, I spend my time mentoring and coaching consultants specifically to help them find corporate clients.
I started with Young Enterprise obviously when I was in Bayside School in year 12. So that was back in 2011, I think it was. And we did super well. We had like a USB product. Our team was called 2.0 and we won locally. So it was a great experience. And then from then, I was in uni, so I wasn't really too involved in Young Enterprise. But then as soon as I came back, I got involved as a business advisor.
What always strikes me is that these guys are really young. They're 17 years old, and it's the first time they've been involved in the business world. And they've always got loads of confidence, and they've always got great ideas, but they struggle sometimes to translate that into the professional working environment. So one of the biggest things I try and sort of teach them is, how to operate in the business world. So just being sort of disciplined, like understanding that you need an agenda for a meeting, be very organized, you need minutes, you need to be as professional as possible. Even simple things like your appearance. You can't turn up in a scruffy hoodie, you need to wear a shirt and a tie. So trying to just kind of instill some of those like good key business practices into these young people. So that's one of the main things that we do. And then also, given my background, I'm a chartered accountant, giving them some guidance on how to manage their money, how to account for things, how to prepare their financial statements. That's always really useful advice for them.
Young Enterprise definitely brings out the best in you no matter what specific role that you're in. But most of the people in our team, regardless if they were like a managing director or not, they had kind of different roles that really impacted them. So I remember that there was a few people in our team where, fine, they could have been head of finance, they could have been head of marketing, they could have been head of sales, but each of them did something which, even though they weren't in charge, it gave them the kind of ability to understand how business works in terms of structure. And I think regardless of whether you're the managing director or not, just having that ability to know how a business functions from the inside out is key. And a lot of those individuals have now gone on and they're still in Gib, and they're either running their own businesses or they're very high up in the companies that they actually work for. So, you don't have to be somebody high up in your kind of young enterprise team. I mean, I was the MD in my team, and I think that theme has kind of followed through in terms of everything that we're kind of doing now. I was somebody who quite like business as in school. I did business studies as well, so it was kind of in my blood really to kind of focus on that.
We always have a lot of support from the local business environment. Even the GFSB allows us to use their location. We don't have an office, so to speak. So they allow our students to take part in their own workshops for free. And honestly, we couldn't ask for more from the local community, because as soon as they hear Young Enterprise, people want to get involved. In order to kind of aid their entrepreneurial skill set, we arrange different masterclasses, which is bringing people from the community who specialize in a key area. So whether it's human resources, it's GDPR, accounting, we give those people a platform to really kind of upskill the students. So even if they decide not to kind of venture into business after the program, at least they've got a really good foundation in real life business skills.
What I hear from business advisors, why they keep supporting teams year after year after year, is that it's very inspiring for them. They feel that they can get stuck in a rut a little bit, doing the same thing over and over, and then they work with these students who've never failed at anything yet. And their drive and their enthusiasm, and they're like, this is going to work. It just really lifts them up. It gets them all excited again about enterprise and running your business.
Yeah, this is my first time mentoring young people, and it's very exciting because, young people have all the enthusiasm and excitement for business, without any of the pessimism that comes from years of crushing disappointment, which can unfortunately come with entrepreneurship. It's very much a roller coaster ride. So, helping individuals at the start of their careers is very rewarding, because you get all the passion, all the vigor, all the determination to succeed, without any of the bad experiences. So it's really cool. It's good fun.
The story I always ask the business advisors are, if at any stage they're on the edge of a precipice, hold them back. But if they're going to learn from falling over and scratching their knee, let them learn. It is all about learning. It is learning by doing. It is not anything else than that. So they have to do to learn the lesson. But of course, if the damage is going to be catastrophic, do please guide them away from the cliff edge.
As a business advisor, I always want to support their idea, but it's also key to act as a sounding board, because they're young, they're enthusiastic, but sometimes their ideas are impractical. So I really try and enable them as much as possible, but also sometimes I've got to turn around and say, guys, that's that might not work. We had a young team who had an initial idea where they would somehow assist like a tax rebate program, and they wanted to involve crypto and a coin offering, and it was extremely elaborate, and it was very exciting, and I think they were riding on the wave of enthusiasm for crypto, but I don't know if it was something that a 17-year-old young enterprise team could have practically implemented. So I think it's there again. I don't want to extinguish any ideas or dreams, but it's just raising the question: is this practical? Can this really be done? You know, using the experience I've gained in my role in the past 10 years, using that to help them as a sounding board.
Yeah, it's certainly refreshing to have, you know, as I mentioned earlier, none of the sort of pessimism and jaded views that can come from a long career in entrepreneurship with all the road bumps that can involve. So it's nice just to have, you know, fresh, invigorating motivation from these kids who, you know, only see a positive future ahead, and whenever there's a problem, we found a way to solve it. Whenever there's opportunity, they find a way to grasp it, and it's just refreshing. You know, it's really, really cool. I'm enjoying the journey too.
I've been doing this sort of role as a business advisor for quite a few years now, and you definitely see, I mean, at the beginning there's always tons of kids that want to get involved. A lot of them do it for not only because they want to be exposed to how things work in business, but also because it's a great way to be able to progress into uni. I think it's a very common kind of misconception that if you do this in young enterprise, it's because you want to have a role in business. There are kids that I've had in my teams that have gone on to go and study medicine, others have gone on to study business, and others have gone on to do science or whatever other degree. And ultimately, the kind of discipline of being part of a team, which I think is young enterprise is probably the first time probably in school when you're working as a team towards a kind of a collective good, no? And it's certainly a very, very kind of unique experience, and that can be applied into any degree and into any jobs.
You know, we've talked about volunteers, and to be fair, the volunteers come from all walks of life, but we have such a wide spectrum of sponsors which have been committed, some of them from day one, you know. So we have the likes of EY, Aquagib, Hassan's, Capurros, and Consumer Trust, which are stable names in Gibraltar. But only last year we had Admiral Insurance, which is a leading insurer in the UK, also want to support us both financially and with mentorship programs. So it is not only the individuals that come forward because of their, maybe the company supports them in doing so, or they do it voluntarily, but it's a business community of Gibraltar which is so special towards that. And they're investing in the future of our business community. And I think that's part of the shall we say, the social responsibility that our local employers have towards a scheme like Young Enterprise.
Teaching children to care for the environment from a young age has never been more important. When learning is fun, colourful and hands-on, those lessons truly last. Meet Beyond Books, a young enterprise team turning creativity into action. They've designed and marketed a children's activity book that makes environmental awareness engaging and accessible. Rooted in the sights and stories of Gibraltar, the book uses colour, play and interaction to inspire curiosity and responsibility.
Hi, my name is Kevin Marsden. I'm 17. I was born in Scotland and I moved to Gibraltar 10 years ago. And me and a few others, including Freddie Cunningham, Samuel Chapman, Joey McInnes, Isaac Richfield, Mia Hook, Bera Ware and George Keywood, came up with the idea of creating a book. Well, I remember being in class one day and speaking to one of my close friends, Freddie, and he came up with me the idea of why don't we start a young enterprise team. We then gathered up our team, a few people we knew from around school, a few people we knew from outside the school. The book was one of the first things that came to mind. I remember we went down to our team member Mia's house on a day after school, and I think it was already set in motion that we were doing a book based on Gibraltar. The message itself behind the book had to be that Gibraltar is a very valuable place, it's a very beautiful place, so many places in the world which would dream of having a rock like we have in the background. And obviously our message behind the book was, let's keep Gibraltar clean, let's keep Gibraltar safe, and let's not ruin this beautiful country for what it is. Obviously we were trying to push that onto kids whilst they were young, because if they learn growing up to recycle, then obviously that will stay with them for the rest of their life. We can't change the generation we're in now because all the damage has been done, but if we can influence the up and coming generations, then hopefully we can make a difference in this country.
Well, we're very, very lucky because today we have some special guests from the secondary schools. They're very grown-up gentlemen, and they are from Beyond Books, which is a young enterprise initiative. And we've had other groups from Young Enterprises coming to show us their different projects. Now we welcome these gentlemen who are going to present a very special book that you've created, am I right?
We went to St Joseph's First School around the start to middle of May time, I'd say, a few weeks before the obviously final of the Young Enterprise competition. Our message was we wanted to set a consistent message, go into all the schools, go into all the kids.
So they've heard that the children of St Joseph's are really well behaved, are very good listeners. So we're going to prove them right, aren't we? Yes? Okay, over to you.
Good morning, welcome to our presentation. We are from Beyond Books and we are launching a book called Gurry's Green Mission. Now, we obviously, is for your age, so the younger generations. And what we want to do is we want to teach you about the environment, we want to teach you about pollution, we want to teach you how to keep Gibraltar clean and safe. So Gibraltar is a beautiful place. We want to help our country. I think we all want to help our country, don't we? Yeah. And that's possible through all of you right here today. This is the team. On the right, you can see this handsome guy, that's me. We have Sam here, he's over there. Say hi to Sam, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
On the way to school, I seen a man cleaning up the road.
That's good, that's what we're trying to do. We just don't want to make a mess, we want to keep Gibraltar clean and tidy. Yes, mate?
My name is Colin as well.
That's nice, mate, that's nice. Yes, you at the back.
What does Gully the seagull do?
If you look up there, you can see him. Gully's just like us. Gibraltar is his home and he wants to take care of it all the time. He wants to keep Gibraltar clean. However, plastic is damaging his home and he's very scared. So what Gurry's going to do throughout the book is Gurry's going to go into Gibraltar with his friends, who are the other animals. And what he's going to do is he's going to try and keep it clean, tidy it up and get rid of the mess.
Every time when I see rubbish, I pick it up.
Pick up, that's very good. That's what we like, yes?
When we go to have snack time, we always find rubbish to put in the bin.
So what should you do if you find the rubbish? What do you all think? Pick it up. Pick it up. Yeah, that's right.
Every time at home time, the seagulls always take out the rubbish from the bin.
Seagulls, they aren't as smart as us. So you might see rubbish and they might think, oh, that's food, that looks nice. So they might go into your bin, open it up and eat it. So what we need to try to do here is we need to try to close the bins as well, just to make sure they don't get into it. Trying to get on the level with these kids, I mean, that's what I try to do my hardest. It's good, man, it's good to see the kids being involved, good to see the kids enjoying hearing stuff and having the confidence to tell me about their experiences. Why did we choose to make a book? We can do so many things through technology, but sometimes we need to go back to basics. And what a way to get ourselves away from the screen with a colouring book which we can all interact with. So Gurry the seagull travels along Gibraltar to help clean the environment. He and his friends, the other animals, work together as one to help Gibraltar. There is a secret message involving all the animals working together. Do any of you know what that is? Teamwork. Yeah, that's good. Now I look around the room and a lot of us here, we're different, we're not all the same. We have different qualities about ourselves. So if we all work together, despite what we look like, despite what we are, we can come and we can create this big fix it all.
Do you know those people who are cleaning the roads?
Yep.
They're helping the country.
They're helping the country, yes they are.
I think, yeah, in reception, when we were having snack outside, a seagull stole my friend's snack.
The seagull is just a representation of Gibraltar. The seagull is used to represent me. The seagull could be you. The seagull could be all of you here. I make sure I recycle all my bottles. I make sure I put any bit of rubbish I've got in the bin, and I make sure that I don't make a mess on the floor.
We've had 3 groups from Young Enterprise which we've been able to welcome into school. They've been very, very powerful presentations because the impact for our children to hear these very important, valuable messages from young adults such as the secondary school age that come in has been really impactful. They've learned a lot, and at St Joseph's, apart from academic excellence, we also strive to make sure that the children learn life lessons, learn about sustainability, the environment, how to be good citizens of Gibraltar. So it very much ties in with our ethos, and it's been a pleasure to welcome them in. They've done a really good job.
So today we came into St Joseph's Rural Primary School to give a talk about Beyond Books and our product.
It was a brilliant insight to see what the kids thought about the environment and their contributions to picking up litter. And we really want to target these younger generations because these guys will make the big impact for the future. And it was great to see their thoughts on it.
We are grateful for the opportunity to be able to come into the school, and we're grateful for the feedback of which the youth gave us. This is what all our book is about.
Freddie Cunningham here, and with the launch of our new book, Gully's Green Mission, we wanted to come into Main Street and ask the public about pollution problems in Gibraltar and how we can fix them. Let's go.
We're in town today to get some feedback from the public. We want to suggest them our ideas. We want to send a message to them as well. We want them to know that we are here to make a difference, try to influence the youth so the world does not stay the same going forward.
We want people interested in our book and interested in these pollution problems that we're facing, as it only gets worse over the years, in our opinions.
Social media is a weapon which we can use to our advantage. If we can reach them through social media, maybe they'll see someone they know in the video, maybe they'll, engage with the video, get engaged while watching it. If we can do that, then obviously people will be more exposed to our product, that's the goal. Also asking people for their opinions, asking people for their views in public, that obviously can help us enhance our product to make it to better than what it would be before.
What's your name?
Louisanne. Isabella Cantos. Crystal.
Adi.
Julia.
Do you think there's any pollution problems in Gibraltar?
Yeah, I think there's pollution problems. Yes, to some extent, yeah. I think there's too much pollution.
I think it's really bad.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think teaching these younger kids will help the pollution problems within the future rather than taking action now?
I think that creating this book and publishing this book would be really, really good.
Yeah, I don't see why we would have a negative one.
That teaching them young will obviously benefit them as they grow older. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to teach young people about this problem, yeah.
Pre-order Gully's Green Mission book now by messaging us on Instagram at Beyond Books Insta. Thank you. I personally think marketing was, especially today, was a big part of our project, as getting the word out there. It definitely improves people's interest.
Well, our marketing idea is different to maybe our marketing ideas because we are not marketing to the youth, we're not marketing to 21, 22-year-olds, we're marketing to parents, to the older generations. We're looking out for people, parents, grandparents to buy for their nieces, nephews, sons, daughters, grandchildren. Our response has been good, to be honest. I mean, I think a lot of people are saying, yes, the youth needs to learn. I think it is a positive idea. They all seem to agree on that. So yeah, I think it's been positive so far. We had Mia Hook and Bella Well, who designed our book. It took them a few weeks to do. I think there was some beautiful artwork in that book, to be honest, personally. I mean, it was very appealing to the eye of a kid because we're not forcing down the facts on the kids. We're making them do the activities, the word search, the connect dots and all that stuff. And hopefully through doing all these fun activities, which they would do anyways, obviously. One, it's getting them off the tablet, which is, giving them a break. And two, it's also pushing a positive message to the youth. And I mean, that's the goal, to be honest. I mean, we had the book, we had it all prepared, we had it all set up, and we were ready to, we had a lot of people who were interested in buying the book. And I'm disappointed to obviously say that, unfortunately, they never got the book. Obviously, that's disappointing to me, that's disappointing to the rest of the team. But we were trying to get in contact with lots of printers, the ones who printed the book. And unfortunately, I mean, a lot of them took their time to get back to us, and by the time it was all prepared, by the time it would all be ready, it was too late for the final. Although some of us, including myself, wanted to pursue the book after the final and make the sales to the people who have gone out their way to sign up and reach out about getting a book, we decided as a team that we're not going to pursue it further, as a lot of the members already felt like they disappointed the public with it. But this is life, obviously. You live, you learn, and you move forward. Take your experiences now and use them to better your journey in the future.
When I do the presentation at the beginning of the year, while we launch the company programs, when they already have, shall we say, the prototypes or the ideas of the business, I always say to them that friendships will be tested, leaders will emerge, and surely, most definitely, there will be things along the way they didn't expect. And the challenges are there every year. The challenges are around how do friends carry on working in business when there's friction and demands on time. There's difficulties with external stakeholders, like it might be with suppliers, where they feel that they've been not given the product they wanted, with the challenges of opening a bank account, which is normally a difficult scenario for someone who's not used to it. And they see the real difficulties of a business person in a real business environment firsthand. That is really the lesson and the lessons in life.
Going into things, the normal person prepares for the best and they prepare for the worst. What we can't do is prepare for a journey with roads of ups and downs going forward. We started off really positive. I think we didn't get the head start that we needed, but when we started off, things were positive. People thought we had a nice idea. If you ask anyone in my group, they agree with the same, that we did not perform to the best of our capabilities. And that's what I'll tell to anyone who does the project further down the line this year, if you're doing it the following years in the future. Do your most, that's all you can physically do. If you put the time in, you put the effort in, make something that you're proud of, not something that you think people are going to like. But what I'd just like to say is our journey was special as well, and that should not be taken away from us.